the gym. My old stomping grounds. Hank Patterson, fly fishing guide.
Riley Smith, tight end.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Hey, you wouldn't happen to be the kicker?
No, tight end.
Again, thank you. I'm looking for a kicker for Lithia Ford's fall kickoff sale. But you're not the kicker.
No.
Yeah, the kicker's probably taller and in a lot better shape. So, okay. What position do you play?
Tight end.
Squats. Yeah, try it sometime.
Hey, Forrest here. Nothing like getting paid. And with ICCU's mobile app, I can deposit checks or accept Zelle payments so the money hits my account fast. I just wish there was an app for mowing the rest of these lawns.
RowPaint.com, the official paint and coatings company of Boise State Athletics, is going all in this season with an all-star lineup. First up, he led the Broncos to 3 conference championships and 10 20-win seasons. It's Coach Leon Rice. Next, he's the founder and CEO of RowPaint.com. He played a little basketball in high school on the driveway with his mom. It's Andy Rowe.
Oh, no. Want to just paint my house?
Now that I can do.
When I want Boise State to win, I trust Coach Rice to lead the Broncos to victory.
And when I want the best painting and garage floor coating, I trust RowPaint.com to get that job done right.
This is Bronco Nation News Live. The best interviews, the most informed opinions, the latest breaking news, all from the top Boise State insiders. Today's broadcast is coming from the Cutwater Spirits Canned Cocktail Studios. Check out one of their more than 30 flavors of pre-mixed premium cocktails at your local gas station or grocery store. Cutwater Canned Cocktails is perfect for your next game day tailgate party. Now, here's 4-time NSMA Idaho Sports Writer of the Year, BJ Rains, with another edition of Bronco Nation News Live.
Hey, how we doing, Boise State fans? Welcome on into a special edition live from the James Kitchen and Bar here in downtown Boise. Come on out to the James Kitchen and Bar, and awesome spot. We're happy to be here, and if I switch to the right microphone there we go. James Kitchen and Bar, they open at 11 o'clock. Hope to see you guys down here. They got happy hour from 3 to 5, and we will be here for the post-game show on Saturday against San Jose State. So not doing the pregame show here. Got some other stuff going on. We're telling you about the other broadcast later this week, but we'll be here for the postgame show after the San Jose State game on Saturday. Come hang out with Kent Riddle and I. Looking forward to that. We got the new commercials rolling in, including the one with Andy Rowe and Leon Rice.
That one was great.
Jordan says Andy pulled a Johnny airball game, airball in the free throw there. So, that's a good commercial. We appreciate Andy Rowe and company. And I told you, Leon Rice had his floor coating. That's not lip service. He had his floor coating done by them, and he loves it. So, and Leon's watching the show because he just said, Leon just texted us, do you like the commercial? So we love the commercial, Leon. We appreciate you awesome. for doing that and watching that. And I've yet to meet an unsatisfied customer from RowPaint.com. So that's all you need to know. And next time you're looking for that garage floor coating, hopefully you will think of our title sponsor, Andy Rowe and RowPaint.com. He is Jordan Kaye. My name is BJ Rains. We just watched practice today, Boise State. Not letting us watch any team drills today, by the way. We got to watch about 7 periods of the stretching. You can read the tea leaves, with the videos on social media, which quarterback was going first in the drills. But I guarantee you there is some element of messing with the media with some of that stuff today. They know which portions of practice we're going to be watching. There's no team drills. We didn't get to see who ran with the number 1 offense. It was just which quarterback's throwing into the net first, stuff like that. So I don't put too much stock into that. And what that means in the long term. But, Saturday, San Jose State, 6:00. It's probably going to be a sellout. They're getting close to announcing that. They're going to have a packed house, the light show. There's going to be a lot of energy and a lot of fans anxious to see this team start playing better. This is it's a pretty big game on Saturday.
What a time to try out a 2-quarterback system. Oh, boy. It's going to be interesting. The 36,000, give or take, fans in attendance are going to get an entertaining game. What that means, good or bad, is yet to be determined. But how can you not be intrigued with the 2-quarterback system? How can you probably not be entertained if you're looking at it? It's going to be interesting. I don't know if interesting is going to be good. I don't know if interesting is going to be bad. I think the one thing to look at it, and Coach Sanford brought it up on the ball talk this week, is like, what's the best case scenario of this whole thing? The best case scenario is that one of these guys elevates themselves to the point the coaching staff can't not play them. And I think that's going to be the thing to watch for. Okay, we're going to try out this 2-quarterback system, but is some guy going to elevate themselves to the point where the coaches go in at halftime and say, we can't sit this guy on the bench? And all of a sudden a 2-quarterback system goes to one dude's out there for the entire second half. That's the best case scenario, right? I don't know. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I just think that they're really, I think Talon Green should start. I think Talon Green deserves to start. I know some people are against that, but I'll stick with it. I do not think you give up on Talon Green this early. And in my opinion, if
he's the guy. He's the guy who he's playing so well that it's like, why did we do this 2-quarterback system?
I just think if Maddox Madsen starts this game, even if Maddox Madsen plays 2 series, Talon comes in, lights it up, plays the rest of the game.
Yeah.
I still feel like if Maddox Madsen starts this game, there is a large likelihood you're losing Talon Green, and in the long term. And I just don't know if I've seen enough to be ready to give up on Talon Green yet. I just think he's an exciting athlete. I get it. The throws haven't been great. I feel like the receivers could do more. I don't think it's apples to apples comparing the passing game with Maddox Madsen to the passing game with Talon Green. I just think the situations are different. The timing in the game is different. I don't know. I could be wrong. They could start Maddox Madsen. I think, what happens if you start Maddox Madsen, he plays his 2 drives and does pretty well. You promise Talon Green the 3rd series, or you want to play both these guys.
That's not how they're doing it, though. From what we know, they're going to do it based on where guys are kind of coming in for certain plays.
I still
they're not
think
giving drive to drive.
I think they'll have a plan for the first quarter early in the game.
Maybe
when they're going to bring him in. I think they give a couple series to each guy, and then they kind of decide play by play, whatever, in the second half. But I think my scenario is you have a packed house. Maddox Madsen comes in, throws a touchdown pass or leads them on a scoring drive, whatever, and everyone's fired up. And then you bring in Talon Green, and there's people booing.
No one's booing.
Let me know, fans. I'm guessing, and we saw it with Bachmeier, whatever. Everybody loves the backup quarterback. If Maddox Madsen throws a touchdown pass and starts the game and throws touchdowns, and then they bring in Talon Green, there will be somebody in the stadium booing. I think it'd be
okay. There will be.
I think I'm not saying 36,000 people are going to be booing, but I think Andy's opening himself up for. I don't know if circus is the right word, but it's just going to be chaos if you're going from one quarterback to the next, and if one plays well, but you want to play the other one, and some fans are booing that don't like this guy. I just think that it's going to be. I don't know.
It is underrated how much he was probably smiling a little bit last year when Hank transferred, because this didn't have to happen. There was no 2-quarterback system. There was no, you should have played this guy. It was, hey, our guy transferred. We've got one option. And that was basically it. So it couldn't even been opened up. So yeah, now he is opening himself up to this. And Hank got booed. I won't question what can or can't happen Saturday. Maybe even different people do.
Lots of negativity.
Sure,
That's kind of the big thing right now. People are on edge. People are uneasy. And
I don't think it's going to be a drive-to-drive thing based on what they're saying. And also, has that ever worked? The only time I can think is the 2015 Ohio State team with Cardell Jones and JT Barrett. And they lost some dumb games that they probably shouldn't have lost that season.
Pierce
that was as close to
a 2 QB system that works.
Yeah.
Another grasp at straws in order for Andy Avalos to keep his job. I mean, he is trying to he is doing something to try to keep his job here because, I mean, you lose on Saturday in front of a packed house. I mean, I'm not saying he's going to get fired at that point, but you're going to start to have some of the influential people, I think, that are involved in these decisions. And you guys know how it works. It's not just the athletic director. It's not just the president. It's the big money boosters. It's the big money advertisers for the school. I mean, I'm not going to name the names, but you can figure out the 4 or 5 people that probably have some influence. And that's how it works everywhere.
Yeah,
If the guys say the check's going to dry up if you don't make a change, that's when the change happens. Or when they say, hey, we will pay the buyout. That's always a big one too. And we're willing to cover the $3 million, $3.25 million or whatever.
Not crazy. I will say that.
Now, would they rather have the $3.25 million to add to the North End Zone project? Sure.
But it's not that, yeah.
But I mean, if they're, I'm just, and again, I am not predicting it. I don't think Andy Avalos is going anywhere, at least for the next, for the short term here. But I'm just saying, you lose a home game on Saturday with how restless these fans already are. Another home game on the Blue as a 9-point favorite to a San Jose State team that's 1-4, I believe.
Yeah.
You lose that game on Saturday, you're going to start to have some people really like some people that actually matter starting to at least start to have that conversation or question whether or not long term is Andy the guy here. I think it's huge.
We were saying a lot of the same things last year after the UTEP game. I mean, let's not forget that this has some precedent. And last year when they're 2-2 and he fires Tim Plow and Hank Bachmeier goes into the transfer portal, you were probably on the BNN show every day saying the same thing. Hey, Andy Avalos' seat's getting hot. And the ship was righted. I mean, I will give Andy credit. He made a tough decision to fire Tim Plow, a somewhat unprecedented decision when it comes to Boise State.
Yeah, I don't think ever
firing an assistant mid-season. That doesn't happen. I will give him credit on that. Very fortunate that Dirk Cutter was there. Very fortunate that Taylon Green was there. Very fortunate that Hank Bachmeier transferred, and very fortunate that Dirk Cutter ran his scheme kind of, without anyone telling him what to do.
Yeah, and they didn't have to worry about all season. I mean, the quarterback issue was going on early in the season, but once Hank transferred, they just said, okay, it's yours, and they didn't really have another choice other than Taylon. Now, I mean, this could linger all season here with what's going to happen, who's going to be the guy going back to do it. Karen Rains says Boise State won't lose this game, no way. So take it to the book, place your money line bets at Circa Sports. They're not, if Karen says it, they're not losing. So I guess you guys are in good shape then.
Good, looking good, yeah.
Dirk Cutter and TG saved the season last year. A lot of people, that has been the sentiment since your article came out, that it wasn't Andy Avalos that didn't, but he made the decision.
He had to make the decision.
He did.
I mean, give him credit for that. That probably was not as easy as
Andy should have bought a lottery ticket last season. A whole lot of luck, according to Kareem the Dream.
I mean, there was a lot of luck. You have to make your luck sometimes. So I'll give him some credit.
She says didn't say they would cover the 9, but they will win. So money line bet. There you go. This team could be 4-1. It's not on the QB play. Me and Jay spent 20 of our 30 minutes yesterday talking. Well, I mean, they were very close. There were 2 games where if the guy misses a field goal or you get a stop there, or you win the UCF game, you would have had to have stopped Memphis and then score again and then stop them again. So I'm not quite ready to say, but that game with the blocked field goal and stuff, like they should have won the Memphis game.
Oh, they
gave that game away. So I mean, they are a couple plays away from being 4-1 and masking a lot of these problems, but they're not. Andy said it himself. You're the same team regardless of what the record is, had they won that game or not. And I know a lot of folks think that the quarterback controversy, all this stuff is as a way for Andy to hide the struggles of the defense and keep the focus on the offense and not the defense. Me and Jay spent over 20 minutes of our 30-minute show yesterday talking about the defense and the reasons why it has struggled. I don't think the defense is totally getting off the hook here, but I also think that Spencer Danielson is not even close to the point where you're going to fire Spencer Danielson. Like, no, that is not the same situation as Tim Plow last year one bit. Yes, the defense is struggling, but I think it is a lot more to do with they screwed up in the transfer portal. They screwed up and thought some of these guys were better than they were going to be. And then 2 of your projected starters, after you lost all those guys, 2 of your projected starters, Alexander Tubner and DJ Schramm, didn't play against Memphis or played very sparingly. I guess Tubner played very sparingly.
Yeah.
So I mean, I and again, whenever I say it's a talent issue, I was getting all this. Well, that comes back to the coaches because they recruited the talent. That is true. I get it, but I don't know if it's necessarily the schemes and Spencer Danielson didn't just become a bad defensive coach overnight. I think that I just don't think that the players are as good as the players they had last year. And yes, part of that is on the coaching, but part of that just comes down to the Jimmies and the Joes, and they just don't have them right now.
They did not. trying to see how to phrase this. They are relying very heavy on guys Andy brought in his first and second year, which is very recently, which is why you see a lot of young guys playing. And they did not adequately fill their needs in the transfer portal. They went after the guys who some of our assistant coaches had some relationship with 5 years ago when we were recruiting them out of high school, and they came from a big school, so they were a 3 or 4 star in high school, and we'll give them a chance. And so you have a bunch of dudes who came from a big school, have no stats, very little experience, and aren't contributing. What they didn't do is go find a guy like George Tarlis, a dude from an FCS program who was just dominating, and go and say, hey, we can elevate you at Boise State. They did not do that. They tried to get kind of bounce backs who were Power 5 and then couldn't really make it.
Yeah.
And it didn't work. I mean, they haven't admitted it because you can't say, oh yeah, we didn't hit on the guys who are currently still in the locker room, but it didn't work. And that's a coaching thing. You can keep saying you're a developmental program until you're not.
It's on the coaches in terms of not getting the right players, but maybe it's not necessarily a coaching, like their in-game coaching or their practice habits or how they are as an actual coach.
It's a philosophy.
They just messed up on the building, the construction of the roster at times. And whether you want to blame that back to Brian Harsin, some people believe Brian Harsin left the cupboard bare when he left. And that's one of the reasons he was looking to leave because he knew maybe that they.
Brian Harsin's final recruiting class is like a lot of Boise State's production right now. I mean, it's Taylor Green, it's like Zion Washington, it's Eric McAllister. Like you can go down the roster. Like Brian Harsin, he had some rough recruiting classes, like 1920, which is kind of why there's not a lot of experienced, great players on Boise State right now. 21 though that was a pretty dang good recruiting class.
No doubt about it. Zach, being facetious here, says, hey, it's the two guys that get mad. People get mad at for covering the team. QBs being benched, head coaching decisions. They shouldn't be stories.
Yeah,
totally agree, Zach. And the Tequila Gus asking if we saw Jordan's picture up in the football facility saying, do not speak to this man after that last article.
That was not in any way, shape, or form a personal shot.
Which someone claimed that was, right? You got a little talk about that on Twitter.
I mean, yeah, which I get. Like, I wouldn't say I have the greatest relationship with Andy Avalos. I don't think he likes me. But that was not a personal attack on him in any way. It was more
laid out some facts.
When you start seeing head coaching mistakes pile up, they don't bite you in every scenario. The Air Force last year, the illegal numbering, it didn't bite him. The San Diego State game not going down, it didn't bite him. But it does sometimes bite you. It bites you on 4th and 1 against Air Force 2 years ago when you have 10 players on the field. It bites you against Memphis when you go against analytics and common sense and call a timeout at the last second and kick a field goal. I'm not saying the block field goal was planned or whatever. But those things bite you. I kind of brought up the point in blackjack. If the guy at your table has 15 and keeps standing against a 10, he's going to win a couple times, but you play long enough and you're going to start losing. And that's what you kind of see in that Memphis game. Some of those mistakes, those coaching errors bite you. And the problem with Andy that really frustrates me as kind of an outsider or a media member is he does not take the blame for a lot of these things. And he doesn't even acknowledge that they were mistakes. He kind of says they were the right decisions all the time. That's what is very frustrating. And I think we in the media are trying to get answers for fans. And that's something that a lot of these fans are wondering about, of like, why do you not take accountability for mistakes? If you have a mistake, that's fine. You're a young coach in your 3rd year. This is a really hard job. I get it. Say you made a mistake and people can live with that. But don't say you were right.
You dig in, be condescending to the media, act like we don't know what we're talking about, that you're not wrong. It doesn't help anybody.
That scares me when it comes to making decisions going forward. If you tell me that, oh, you're an idiot for asking that we could kneel the ball because my chart says this. Well, your chart's wrong. That shows a fundamental flaw in how you are preparing for the game and how you are coaching in the game. If you can't understand a timeout or a clock management situation, that's concerning. That's something that's going to bite you in the future.
Yep. And I again, it is what it is. I get it. Somebody on here did, by the way, great article by Jordan. He highlighted the reality of the Avalos era. And if you lose to San Jose, the seat starts to flame. The one thing, just to kind of put a bow on this 4th and 1 thing, what else do you find? The one thing about the 4th and 1 thing that I think is like, okay, I think it's just the fact that, you know what, like, hey, he wanted to go for it. He changed his mind, decided he wanted to take the safer play of the field goal. That's fine. It backfired, but just say that.
Yeah.
Like no one's buying the, okay, well, we didn't get the look we liked. Well, if that's the case, then why didn't you change the play?
Yeah.
Like his if he would have just said, you know what, I was going to go for it. The more the clock was running down, I thought about it. I just said, let's just take the safe 3. That put us up 6 at that point. We were feeling pretty good. It didn't work out. Like, I think people would have been okay with that. We've said you change.
Literally.
I mean, again, some people say, "Oh, be tough. Grow a pair. Like, go for it." Like, some people might still have been mad. But if you would have just admitted, like, you know what, the offense wanted us to go for it. I was going for it. I got caught up in the moment, and then I had 20 more seconds to think about it, and I thought, you know what, let's just take the points. Like, just admit that. When it gets to this whole, we didn't get the look we liked, it's pretty simple. When I asked him after the game, he's like, it's not that complicated.
And then saying, how many points did we win by last week?
3. What's that? How many? 3. Yeah. I mean, again, Andy Avalos knows more about football than we will ever know.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to challenge that, but I just feel like, as you said, sometimes he digs in on these answers without just saying, you know what, in hindsight, I just got a little cold feet. I thought it'd be better taking the 3. Let's just kick the field goal.
And sometimes this is where coaches get themselves in trouble, is he struggles to give details, and then it opens himself up to people not necessarily believing everything that he has to say, which is right or wrong. But when you say, well, we didn't get the look we like, okay, well, what was the look? We just didn't get the look we like. It becomes really tough to, like, give him the benefit of the doubt after all these years of kind of hearing how he answers these questions. And at some point, after the thing with San Diego State in the sheet and him saying that he knew exactly what he was doing, it's like, sometimes you struggle to say, does he know what he's doing? And so you ask him these questions. Well, we didn't get the look. Well, what was the look? What were you looking for? And he doesn't go into detail on some of those things. And I get it. It's a coaching thing. They don't want to give away anything. But sometimes after the game of just giving a specific thing, then we can understand, we, the media, we, the fan base, the boosters, the athletic director, all of these people. It's not just the media. It's not just me. It's not just BJ. But sometimes when you give details on those things, people settle down a little bit and they say, okay, this guy knew what he was talking about.
Yep.
It just didn't work.
Yep.
We all make mistakes. That's fine.
Yeah. And again, it's very hard to be a head coach. I can't imagine.
Yeah.
I can't imagine what all he has to deal with.
No.
I know there's so much more than we could ever imagine on his plate, the time commitment, all the things he has to think about. But when it comes to dealing with the media, it's just an honest reality that it's not he's not the best coach in the world to handle things with the media. And
when you're winning, no one cares.
Hey, Brian Harsin wasn't the greatest to deal with either. But you know
matter.
What? He could back it up, and his arrogance was justified in how they were winning. So, it's not personal. It's not personal with you.
Absolutely not.
It's not personal with me. I want to see it work for Andy Avalos. I broke the story he was being hired. I wanted to see it do well for him, and and 90%
it makes our job a lot easier.
People understand. They think it's so much better for this quarterback controversy. As BNN is not making more money because the team is losing. We need the team to win, just like every fan wants the team to win. It's just business. I'm not a fan of Boise State, but for my business, it is better when they win.
People talk more when they're winning.
After the games, none of us are, they lost to Memphis. Let's go down there and see what we can grill them on tonight. This is going to be great. Like, no, it's okay. This is going to suck. Like it is much more fun to do our job to interview a winning coach, a happy coach. We get it. And I think that's part of the problem with Andy is there just haven't been a ton of, positive post-game press conferences with the way it's gone. So I get it. I like Andy. It's irritating to hear the way he talks to you guys. I will just say that, you guys as fans, us in the media aren't the only ones that have taken notice to that. I think that it's pretty obvious when you watch the post-game press conferences, some of the condescending remarks and things. And again, I get it. It's tough. Jordan says the last thing I think is important in a good coach is media relationships. Even Pete was frustrated. It's important they steer the fan attitudes. And yeah, I think that's what maybe Andy's missing a little bit, to be honest, is that he's not necessarily speaking to the 10 people in the room. He's speaking to the fan base.
Yeah.
He's speaking, as you said, to the boosters, to the athletic director. But in large part, we stream these press conferences. He's speaking to Bronco Nation. He's speaking to the fans. So when we ask a question or I ask a question, it's essentially I'm asking a question that I know I've seen on Twitter that 80% of the fans
You're a proxy.
want to ask. We're asking on behalf of the fans, and so like I said, this is not some 30 minutes. Let's bash Andy.
No.
There's certainly clearly some areas, one of which working with the media, that he could improve with. There's some other on the field areas we've seen as well, but I don't think we've reached the point where he should be fired yet.
No.
I don't think we've reached the point where he's let's give up on him. He can't do his job. I just think there's a lot that goes into being a head coach. And let's be honest, he's had some bad luck too. I mean, the field goal getting blocked and taken back for a touchdown was horrible luck. That if they would have won the game, or even if they would have lost the game, but he kicked the field goal, we would have asked about not going for it. But I don't think it would have still been nearly. If they go for the field goal and they make it, but they lose the game, I still don't think it's nearly the talking point as when it got blocked and taken back and really led to the loss. And so it is what it is. It's not necessarily something that is fun, but the notion that it's personal or that we're out to get Andy or whatever is just 100% flat out not true. It is 100% better for Bronco Nation News if the team is winning and the coaches are happy. It is 100% better and more fun for us to do our job when we're talking to happy coaches and happy post-game press conferences and happy post-game shows than when they lose. So it is what it is. I just thought we should throw that out there.
Yeah.
Harson's slightly modified inferior version of Pete. Andy's slightly modified inferior version of Harson. Is that true? I don't know. Let's see. Nate says, not completely on the inside. I do know certain big boosters are getting restless. I don't know if I'd quite go that far yet in terms of my conversations like that there, but I would say restless might be a fair word, but I'm telling you, they lose on Saturday. By the way, thanks to Colin Mitchell for chiming in. Colin, I was supposed to golf with you today, and now I'm not sure if I can. I forgot to text you. Colin Mitchell is in town and didn't even want to come hang out at the James with us. Let's see. Todd Anderson says, I don't think BJ is much of a fan of mine, but I have so much respect for him this past week for questioning Avalos. Appreciate you calling him out in the press conference. Answers Jordan, too. I appreciate that, Todd. We do differ on some things, but as I said, we're here to do a job. Some like it, some don't. I think the easiest way to just kind of change all this would be to win on Saturday, right? So Jordan is right on. Throw away the sheet. I guess Jordan spitting facts. Andy took the Brian Harson School of Press Relations course. You had to deal with Herm Edwards and Todd Graham. So
both of those guys are great with the media. I don't know about Todd was okay coaching for the beginning. Then it went south.
Yeah. Well, we got to thank a couple of our sponsors here. We'll take a quick time out and be right back. This is Bronco Nation News back in 90 seconds. All Bronco Nation News broadcasts come from the Cutwater Spirits Canned Cocktail Studios. Check out one of their more than 30 flavors of pre-mix premium cocktails at your local gas station or grocery store. Cutwater Spirits, perfect for your next game day tailgate party. Our title sponsor is rowpaint.com. For all your commercial, industrial, residential painting needs, check out rowpaint.com. Don't forget about their concrete coatings. Transform that ugly concrete slab on your back patio in your garage in just one day. Contact rowpaint.com for a free estimate today. The official paint and coatings company of Boise State Athletics and our title sponsor at Bronco Nation News is rowpaint.com. Idaho Central Credit Union's been helping members achieve financial success for more than 80 years. There's an ICCU branch on almost every corner, but the closest is in your pocket with free eBranch mobile and online banking. See why more than 500,000 members love ICCU and join 1 in 4 Idahoans by making the switch today at ICCU.com. Since 1984, Ridley's Family Markets has prided itself on being a hometown food and drug store that employed value members of the local community. Ridley's Family Markets has 13 locations in the state of Idaho and many more in the surrounding states. Download the new Ridley's app to your smartphone. Get savings up to 40% off at the checkout line and find a location near you at shopridleys.com. Former Bronco Matt Bauscher is once again the number 1 ranked realtor in the Treasure Valley. No home is too big or too small for Matt and his team. Let them fulfill all your real estate needs at BauscherRealEstate.com. All right, we continue along here for a little bit longer. We got some coach interviews coming up in about a half an hour or so across the street over at Boise State, but we got a little more time today. I will say with Andy, it's not for a lack of trying. I saw him at practice today yet again, wearing the pad things on his arms, working directly with the DNs and some of the studs, and like he is out there giving it everything he has. It is not for a lack of effort that this team is 2-3. Maybe for a lack of defensive talent that's playing a part of it, but you can't fault Andy Avalos and the staff. They're doing everything they can. They're trying from that standpoint, from the effort level. Yeah. Just some things haven't panned out for them. As I said, there's been a little bit of bad luck involved. Some of the injuries. They maybe win that game if they have Schramm at full strength. Who knows? So it is what it is. 2-3 start, very close to being 4-1. But as was it Bill Parcells, you are what your record says you are. They're 2-3 right now and facing a tough stretch here. I mean, you got San Jose, which I believe they're going to win rather easily. I think they blow them out personally. I don't think San Jose State's very good, and I think all this talk, all this angst in the fan base, I think Boise State's going to come out and just put on a dominant performance on Saturday. I know you don't think it's going to be quite that good. And then I think it's a sneaky road game going to Colorado too. Colorado State in Colorado on the following Saturday. I think they're that's going to be a
quarterback, and they've got the best wide receiver in the Mountain West. That is not going to be a fun matchup. And
that has been a issue at times for Boise State, going up against strong quarterbacks, strong receivers. Yeah. Under Andy Avalos, they have.
I think I've counted two decent quarterbacks Andy Avalos has beaten, and both came in 2021. They've really, really struggled against anyone with an arm. So that concerns me going up against Chevin Cordero. It concerns me going up against Mikey Keene at Fresno State. It concerns me against Andrew Peasley at Wyoming. It concerns me about the Colorado State guy. What's his name? Three name dude at Colorado State.
I forget.
Concerns me with all those guys. Yeah. Because that's just the one thing that a defenses run by Andy Avalos and Spencer Danielson have really struggled with, especially with kind of a secondary that is a little bit on the younger side in terms of experience, not necessarily their years of eligibility.
They're talking about the over-under, maybe saying the over. What do you make about we briefly before we got into this Andy Avalos thing, which wasn't even my goal for today's show. The 2 QB system. What do you think happens with it? What do you like it? Do you not like it? What do you make?
I don't like it. I just show me a couple examples where a 2 quarterback system has worked. I get there's, the Florida teams where Tebow would come in for like a play or two. If that's what they're doing, like fine, like that'll work. If you're trying to legitimately have 2 quarterbacks like switch out plays and they're running the same playbook, I just don't see how that is beneficial. Obviously, they need to save their season, save their jobs. The coaches, if they think this is best, like I'm willing to see it out. I was listening to a podcast a couple weeks ago, and I can't remember who was on, but they were talking about Nick Saban and how you decide who's your quarterback. Nick Saban had Jalen Hurts and Tua. You know what he didn't do? He didn't run a 2 quarterback system. What he did, and I got to see if it's an exact direct quote, but basically what he was saying is like Nick Saban picks a quarterback competition based on who inspires the most confidence for the offense. Like if arm talent is the same, if their knowledge of the playbook is the same, if everything is equal, who inspires the most confidence out of the team? And right now, I don't know the answer to that. I think we might know the answer after a couple drives after one half against San Jose State. And that's where I would go with the quarterback is who inspires the most confidence in Ashton Genty and Eric McAllister and Billy Bowens and Garrett Curran and everyone else. Who are they like, yeah, this is our guy. That's where I would go with it.
I got 38-17.
You just threw out a prediction?
38-17. I think the 2 QB system is going to work. I don't know who it's going to be more.
Did Boise State beat North Dakota by 38-17?
I think that was 38-21 or something. I don't know. I just think this is the kind of, if it doesn't go this way, there's some serious problems, but I think somebody said they're going to win out and save the season. Like he's got Clint has 34-17. So we're pretty close. I just saw that 38-17. Again, the numbers, all this stuff. I don't think it would say that.
What tells you that Boise State's defense is giving up 17 points?
Nothing. Nothing. The fact that I think that they're just. I don't think whoever it is that good. I don't think San Jose is very good defensively. I know the past defense stats are decent.
That's fine. I mean,
I just don't think they're that good. And on either side of the ball, they're 1-4. I know they've played some tough teams. Cordero's a good quarterback. I get it, but I mean, let's be completely honest. San Jose State should not be coming into the blue and really having a serious chance to win this game. That's just I
agree, but we've got to stop looking in terms of historical context. Like that's out the window. I think you were saying the same thing leading up to the UCF. Like,
and barring a last-second drive where they couldn't stop them, I was right. I said they had no business winning this game, but they're going to find a way to win, and that's almost exactly what happened. Now, I've been wrong on most of my other projections. I thought they'd beat Memphis in a close game, but I don't know. I guess I'm not ready to fully believe this team is a 6-6 type team, and maybe I'm just not quite. They've had a couple of tough losses. I'm not saying they're good. But I think that there is some improvement that can still be had.
Yeah.
I don't know if the defense over the course of a full season is the 129th, worst defense in the country.
No,
and so I just think there's going to be a little bit of regression to the mean, and I would expect Boise State to play its best game of the season on Saturday.
I don't necessarily disagree with that, but I also have a hard time thinking that Chevin Cordero and that receiver Nash and a great offensive mind in Tim Brennan is not going to put up 24 to 28 points at least against this defense. Now, that's not to say Boise State, with whoever is at quarterback or two quarterback thing, doesn't put up 35. That could happen. I just don't see Boise State's defense kind of putting the nails to a great quarterback.
BJ just gave the San Jose State social media team a perfect snippet for their video. And Jordan chimes back, does San Jose State even have a social media team?
They have the Duck. I hope the Duck is here this week. That guy's awesome.
I think it's important to start Taylon Green. Just let him loose. Stay with it if it's going well.
Yeah.
That's what I would do. I think Taylon Green, if you start Maddox Madsen and he starts playing well, I don't know if you can go back to Taylon Green. I think that the safer play is to start Taylon Green and then have Maddox Madsen available to play some if it's not going well. I'll be curious if they put him out there at the same time for a play or two.
What?
Yeah.
I guess that would be something.
Well, I mean, why would you not? If you have two quarterbacks that are going to play, why would you not put even if it's just one running play where Taylon Green's way out ride, didn't
the Eagles do that a little bit?
Boise State did it when they had Montel Cozart and Brett Rippon. Yeah, they gave Brett Rippon some they gave Montel Cozart like some short passes, swing passes, because he was more of a running quarterback. And so maybe Maddox Madsen, maybe you got Taylon Green in the backfield and you throw a little backwards screen pass and let him use his legs in space and take off running.
On that one? That would be
I don't know if it happens.
Awesome.
I don't know if it'll happen Saturday, but I think if you at least put them out there together for one play,
what about
then that all of a sudden makes Colorado State have to worry about it for next week.
Double pass with Taylon Green.
If you want to try to get them both on the field, do what's best to help the team win. Yeah. Maybe that's the direction you go for some. Maybe there's a package.
If Andy really wants to have some fun, first play.
Both guys out there.
Taylon Green motions out. You have a double pass, a triple pass. Let's do a triple pass. Oh, my God.
I think first play of the game needs to be both quarterbacks on the field. That would be amazing. And I think Maddox Madsen takes the snap, but you do Taylon Green goes out for a little swing pass. And then if it's a backward pass, he could throw it forward.
That's what I'm saying.
Or you just let him in motion.
And then technically both of them started. Technically.
Oh, yeah. They both start. And that's got to happen now.
Oh, my God.
I'm going to talk about that for the rest of the week. Both guys out there on the same play. That needs to happen.
That would be like an old school Boise State thing. That would be so fun.
Oh, man. Well, we appreciate everybody for checking us out today.
TG.
Oh.
Yes. That would be awesome. Let's make this fun. Yeah.
This guy says, "Oh, you're sounding like Vlad." No, they're not moving him to full-time wide receiver.
No.
They're not moving him to full-time tight
end.
For one play,
but
for a couple plays,
awesome.
You can put both of them in the backfield. The only reason I think it happens for one play on Saturday, if you put the over/under at a half, I would actually probably take the over. Not even saying Taylon Green is involved in the play or Maddox Madsen's involved, and just have him standing on the field out wide. That is one more thing now that Colorado State would have to spend 5 hours thinking about is, what do they get? What plays could possibly happen if they're both out there? We got to be ready for this package and stuff.
Yeah.
So it would not shock me. That's how football coaches are. You put them both out there for one play, and then that makes Colorado State have to spend 5 hours thinking about it.
And if you're going to do the two quarterback thing, be as creative as you possibly can If this is going to work, it's going to work because you're utilizing the skill sets of both guys. And the skill set of Taylon Green is, I mean, hell, he can air it out. He's hit on a couple deep balls this year. He can also run better than almost any quarterback in the Mountain West.
Yeah.
What you got with Maddox Masson is a dude who has quick decision-making, who gets the ball, who leads his receivers, who's a great thrower. If Boise State can somehow find the perfect mixture of Taylon's skill set and Maddox's skill set, I'm not ruling out this can work. I just over the course of college football history, that rarely works.
Hey, tomorrow, make sure you don't miss tomorrow's episode at 9 a.m. Mike Prater, myself, will be joined by Tommy Ahlquist. We will be at Top Golf at Eagle View Landing. We're going to get Mike Prater and Tommy Ahlquist, maybe me. We'll see how I'm feeling out there on the simulator, live on the show. It's going to be a lot of fun. Tommy Ahlquist disagrees with Mike Prater. Tommy Ahlquist is a big Andy Avalos guy, so we're going to get into a little debate on the show tomorrow with big BSU supporter Tommy Ahlquist, who runs Ball Ventures Ahlquist. So make sure you check us out tomorrow, 9 a.m. at Top Golf. They don't open till 10, so you can't come, but you can watch us tomorrow. If you need a developer, if you're looking for new space, think BVA. At BVA, they are Idaho's developer. I mentioned Taco Bell. We appreciate them as well. The Nicolason family, SON Management, proudly operating Taco Bell restaurants in and around the Treasure Valley since 1969. They were one of the first to make the 7-figure donation to the Lyle Smith Society, also stepping up their commitments, more than $300,000 committed by 2026 to men's and women's basketball scholarships. So get more information on their financial support of the Broncos, or if you want to apply to work at Taco Bell, that is all can be done at tacobellworks.com. And Blue and Orange Store, appreciate them as well. If you need some new Boise State gear, check them out, the blueandorangestore.com. Free shipping, any order over $40, or you can check them out on in person, the Boise Town Square Mall, the second floor there next to Pro Image. Lithia Florida Boise as well. It's finally here, Truck Month at Lithia Florida Boise. And with Truck Month comes great deals on Ford trucks. Get an incredible price on the best-selling F-150, the fully electric F-150 Lightning, the Ranger, or the Maverick. Trucks for the way you live and the way you adventure are waiting for you at Lithia Florida Boise. You can find one online, view their full inventory of vehicles at lithiafordboise.com. And if you need a job, check out TCS, Transportation Compliance Service, every step of the way, help you get into the trucking industry, whether it's the big rig on your screen, the Amazon truck in your neighborhood. Our friends at TCS can help you get out towing that first load in no time. So thank you to TCS, and get more information at transcomservice.com. As we get ready to wrap this up here, so do you even think they win on Saturday?
I'm not there yet. I'm not sure yet. I still gotta decide. But I'm 5-0 on my predictions so far this season. I gotta really think about this.
Okay.
I'm leaning towards yes. If it is yes, it's gonna be a very close game. I'm not sure yet.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I think they win, and I think they win rather easily. Maybe I'm just a homer, whatever. But if the spread stays in the single digits, take Boise State. I think they win this one by double digits. I think they got something to prove, and I think they're going to say, "Yep, see, we're 2-0. Our goals are in front of us. We're back, baby."
I've heard the same thing.
Yeah.
For 5 weeks, and
and they're pretty darn close to being 4-1 and it working. But again, they're 2-3.
It would have, if they were 4-1, it would not have been a pretty 4-1, which again doesn't matter. But I still would probably be feeling the same way I feel if they were 4-1.
Yeah. Well, I think Taylon Green needs to start. I think he needs to play the majority of the game. I'm not quite ready to give up on him yet.
But it says -9.5 seems like they will win. Yeah, I mean that. I'm not gonna lie, that does play a factor. I'm like, if what Vegas is saying comes true most of the time. I will say,
Mark Moss, your guy Mark Moss in here as well.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say?
But Boise State, in every game they've been favored this year, they've won. In every game they haven't been favored by Vegas, they've lost. I mean, it's pretty
kind of doing what they're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Mark Moss, I don't think they expect it to work long term, just basically giving Taylon Green one more opportunity to make the job his. Otherwise, they're turning it over to Mad Dog after the bye week.
I mean, if you're reading the tea leaves, that kind of seems like what it is. But they are giving Taylon Green a chance to kind of prove himself. And right now it's a competition. I think they say it all the time. Competition is what we want. We want to breed competition. If they're right about that, I mean, this is a competition, and theoretically, whoever plays better is probably going to get the job eventually. And if that's Taylon Green, it's Taylon Green. If it's Maddox Matson, it's Maddox Matson.
Wow. Yeah, it's crazy times in Bronco Nation right now. We appreciate all you for subscribing. If you're watching us on Facebook or Twitter, switch over to YouTube. Right down there in the bottom corner, I think the subscribe button's like right here. Press that subscribe button. We'd love to have you subscribe into our YouTube broadcast. It's free. It's easy. We do this every morning around 9 a.m. Sometimes we're a little later due to practice, but you got myself, you got Prater, Johnny, the whole crew. So we do it different days a week with different folks. So check us out. We would love for you to subscribe. Again, you can turn on the little button with the notifications too, so you know when we go live with future broadcasts. And again, we'll be at a Top Golf tomorrow with Mike Prater and Tommy Alquist. Looking forward to that. And then Friday, Jay Tust and I. And then Saturday, we'll have the joint broadcast pregame over at Taco Bell in the morning, and then postgame at the James. So we'll be out and about in the community. Hope to see you guys at the various spots. We'll be at the basketball scrimmage on Saturday. We didn't even get to talk about that, but nice opportunity on Saturday to check out the basketball team. 3:30, they will be over at Extra Mile Arena. If you missed the Tyson Degenhardt show last night, great stuff with R.J. Keene. He was with some great stories and great thoughts. So go check out the Tyson Degenhardt show on our social media channels and view that show. So hope you guys have a great rest of your day. We're heading over in 15 minutes. We're going to be talking to Nate Potter, Tim Keene, Demario Warren, and Kane Ione. So we'll get some assistant coach interviews, try to get their perspective on what's going on and how they right the ship and turn this thing around. So thank you for a record viewership today. Thank you for the great comments. It's always more fun to do the show when there's a lot of comments and interactions in the chat. So I'm loving what we're building here with the BNN community and the YouTube chat and stuff. So let's keep it rolling. Tomorrow 9 a.m. with Mike Prater and Tommy Alquist. Appreciate you guys. Have a great rest of your day. Go subscribe. $50 gets you a full year. BNN 50 deal is that promo code. They're getting ready to open the doors here at 11. Come on in and have some lunch. We'll talk to you later from the James Kitchen and Bar on Bronco Nation News.